Hi, I'm Melita, and this is my channel, The Midnight Librarian, and today I will be going over my June TBR. So, apologies for the lack of makeup or anything. I guess I'm not really sorry for not putting it on. I am recovering from surgery, so you get what you get, really. Yeah, I had my gallbladder removed a couple days ago, and I'm still recovering. So if we end up changing positions at all because this is uncomfortable, bear with me. I may talk about it more in a vlog, we'll see. So I'm still debating on just how much I really want to share out there, but for now, I had my gallbladder removed. I'm doing okay. Thank you for everyone who was concerned. Yeah, it's it's been a weird May. So, and with that, that's still the same in terms of my reading. It's been a weird May. I don't know what I want to read at all, and highly debated on not doing a June TBR just to kind of let myself mood read and figure it out. But ultimately, I feel like if I don't do my Pokemon cards choose my TBR, and just kind of let myself do whatever, then I won't read at all. So, and maybe that's the case. Maybe that's something I need to do, but we'll find out. I do have some alterations with my Pokemon chooses my TBR. So, welcome to season 2. There's not going to be much change. It's just a couple of things. So typically, if you don't know, if you haven't seen season 1 at all, basically I have these Sword and Shield Evolving Skies Pokemon cards that my brother gifted me last year for my birthday. So June is my birthday month. And basically I pull cards out of these. Each Pokemon type has its own prompt, and I pick a book based off those prompts. So there was actually like a full pack of these. I had like a pretty decent amount. And I'm finally getting down to like the final 5. Not just because of this TBR, I've opened a lot of them like off screen as well. But to mix things up, mostly because we keep getting kind of the same Pokemon cards the last year, I wanted to keep doing the Pokemon chooses my TBR, but I have added other packs with it. So I am also adding Sword and Shield Chilling Rain, Sword and Shield Lost Origin, Sword and Shield Astral Radiance, Sword and Shield Silver Tempest, and Shining Fates. So this way we get like a good mix. And basically I am just gonna pull one from each, and I'm gonna mix them up, and we're gonna pick one and see what happens. None of the prompts have changed. I thought about just completely revamping or like doing it so that each one has its own different prompt list, but that was a lot of effort, and based on how my May went, that wasn't gonna happen. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna pick one. Okay, Chilling Rain. I was really hoping it wasn't gonna be Shining Fates or Evolving Skies, sorry. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pull from this one. Get rid of this top card, and we'll go with the first Pokemon card. Ooh, we have Haunter. Okay, I've been waiting to get like a ghost Pokemon I absolutely love. I love Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. It's like one of my favorite Pokemon of evolutions, that I love each and every one of them. So we have Haunter, who is psychic, and for psychic it's to read a thriller. And for that, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and choose The Last Word by Taylor Adams. This was my May pick for book of the month. I've seen a bunch of different book clubs on BookTube reading this for May, and I mean, it sounds interesting. After posting a negative book review, a woman living in a remote location begins to wonder if the author is a little touchy or very, very dangerous in this pulse-pounding novel of psychological suspense and terror from critically acclaimed author of No Exit and Hairpin Bridge. I haven't read either of those. Emma Carpenter is living in isolation with her golden retriever Laika. house-sitting an old beachfront home on the rainy Washington coast. Her only human contact is with her enigmatic elderly neighbor Deke, and via text the house's owner Jules. One day she reads a poorly written but gruesome horror novel by the author H.G. Cain and posts a 1-star review that drags her into an online argument with none other than the author himself. Soon after, disturbing incidents start to occur at night. To Emma, this can't be a coincidence. It was strange enough for this author to bicker with her online about a lousy review. Could he be stalking her too? So, I think this will be really interesting. And, yeah, I mean, might as well try it out, right? So, that will be for Haunter. Next. Celio. So this is the evolved form of Spheal, and it's a water Pokemon, so it's to read a book that is on or set in or around water or has water on the cover. Sorry, I'm having a hard time moving about. Easy enough. Okay, perfect. I'll go ahead and do... Sorry, a lot of these I've recently hauled, and it's still like a pile right here, so I apologize if... yeah, whatever. So for Celio, I'm going to go ahead and do Seymour and the Whale by T.J. Derrick. This was a children's book that was put on Kickstarter that I supported, and I absolutely just like fell in love with the illustrations. I haven't read it yet. I really want to, but it sounds like, let's see. Now we've all heard of pirates. They're tough and they're mean. They have mighty long beards and are not very clean. They seek buried treasure hid under the sand with a patch for an eye and a hook for a hand. A pirate's best friends are his bird and his gun. This describes all pirates but one. So I like when children's books rhyme like that. I just absolutely love it, and I think this will be really cute, so I'm going to do that for Spheal. And so far so good. I'm liking it. Okay, this is a trainer card, Brawly. I'm going to go ahead and put this aside because trainer cards are mood reads. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, next. Okay, this is an energy card, and energy cards basically, and this is a dark energy card. So basically, I just need to find a book that has this color on it. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do, because I think the buzzword for June is other, and so I think I'm going to go ahead and pick Other Words for Smoke by Sarah Maria Griffin. I've had this for a while. I remember specifically getting this edition because I really liked the cover. I don't remember what this is about. In the house at the end of the lane, there's a darkness hiding in the walls, waiting, watching, consuming. It will devour everything you have, everything you are willing to give, everything that you are not. Watch yourself. If you're not careful, it will all come tumbling down. That's not helpful. I'm interested to see where this goes though, so I think this will be a good one for dark energy. Next. This is Zarina, which is the evolved form of Steenie. It's a grass type Pokemon, so it's to read a book with some kind of botany on the cover. Which I should have a lot of. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time moving. So I think for Zarina, I'm going to go ahead and do an audiobook, and that is going to be A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. Here's the cover. We have some green vines going around the cover, and this is by Sarah Dolly, narrated by Helen Lacer. Mariel Spark is prophesied to be the most powerful witch seen in centuries of the famed Spark family, but to the displeasure of her mother, she prefers baking to brewing potions and gardening to casting hexes. When a spell to summon Flower goes very wrong, Mariel finds herself staring down a demon, one she is inadvertently summoned for a soul bargain. Ozroth, the Ruthless, is a legend among demons, powerful and merciless. He drives hard bargains to collect mortal souls, but his reputation has suffered ever since a bargain went awry. If he can strike a bargain with Muriel, he will earn back his deadly reputation. Ozroth can't leave Muriel's side until they complete a bargain, but she refuses to do. Turns out some humans are attached to their souls. But the witch is funny and curvy and disgustingly yet endearingly cheerful. Becoming awkward roommates quickly escalates when Muriel, terrified to confess the inadvertent summoning to her mother, blurts out that she's dating Ozroth. As Ozroth and Muriel struggle with their opposing goals and maintain a fake relationship, real attraction blooms between them. But Ozroth has a limited amount of time to strike the deal, and if Muriel gives up her soul, she'll lose all her emotions, including love, which will only spell disaster for them both. So yeah, this sounds really cute. I read a couple of like witchy cozy things in May, and I'm still kind of feeling that, so I think I'm gonna continue on with that with Zarina. So next, all right, this is a reverse holo Kecleon. It's a normal type Pokemon, but it is reverse holo. So for reverse holos, it's to read a backlist, and for normal, it's to read a contemporary. So I presume backlist of anything beyond a year ago. So I don't know if this will count as a contemporary. I think it would, just because he's still alive. But this is a memoir. This is gonna be a nonfiction. But that is Val Kilmer, I'm Your Huckleberry, a memoir. I got this back when I think I pre-ordered this back when it came out in 2020. I enjoy Val Kilmer's acting, and I have for the longest time been curious why he stopped acting, and then realized that it was because he had throat cancer and etc. I have yet to watch Maverick. What's that one called? The one with Tom Cruise. Anyway, I've been wanting to read this. I've been curious about it. My mom said that she ended up watching the documentary that his son narrates for it. So I've been ultimately very curious about it. I think this will be a fairly quick read. I don't know. I'm just overall interested. So yeah. This is Crab Roller. And this is a fighting type. So fighting type is to read a second chance author. And that's not so much to say that I didn't like their first one, but it's to read an author that I read from before. And for that, I'm going to put a book that I had put on my May TBR and just didn't get to it. I don't know why, I just wasn't feeling it, and so I'm going to try to put it on here again, and that is Black Powder War by Naomi Novik. This is the third book in the TBR series. So in the TBR series, we are following Captain Lawrence, Captain William Lawrence, who was a captain of a naval ship, and this is during the Napoleonic Wars, and he ends up capturing a French frigate that had a dragon egg on it. The dragon egg ends up hatching in his charge, and he's the one that was able to harness the dragon Temeraire. And because of that, he is no longer in the Navy, he is in the Air Force as a dragon rider, and we're following the both of them, Temeraire and Captain Lawrence, as they figure out what it means to be in the British Royal Air Force, and what it means for Temeraire to be a dragon and to be like, there's a bunch of things that Temeraire as a dragon questions about the civilization that he's in, and then of course it's also having Captain Lawrence question it as well. So it's really fun and really interesting. It's narrated by Simon Vance, and yeah, I've been having fun with it. I just wasn't feeling it for some reason in May, so hopefully I can I find it in June. Next. This is Squovet. Another normal type, so another contemporary. This So for this, I think I'm going to go with another nonfiction. It's just easier for me for contemporaries in terms of matching them to nonfictions. But this one's one of the ones on my 23 of 2023, and I'm falling a little bit behind on that. So here's in hoping I get motivated to read more of them. But I'm going to start reading In the Company of Crows and Ravens by Tony Angle and John Marsloff. And this is narrated by Danny Campbell. I'll probably end up listening to it. It makes more sense. In the Company of Crows and Ravens takes a close look at the influences people have had on the lives of crows throughout history and at the significant ways crows have altered human lives. This book illuminates the entwined histories of crows and people and concludes with an intriguing discussion of the crow-human relationship, of how our attitudes towards crows may affect our cultural trajectory. So I've had this book for a while. I do have a physical copy right here, and of course, like, my cat has stepped on it a bunch, so it's a little worn and it's a little a little dirty. But yeah, I think it'll be fun. It feels like a thick one. Oh, but there's a lot of illustrations in it, so I may end up reading it in tandem with the audiobook. I think it'll be really fun. So yeah, that's what I'm choosing for that one. Next, Ladybug. This is another grass type Pokemon, so another one that needs a botanical cover. Some kind of botanical on its cover. So for this, I think this one sounds interesting. I've been hearing inklings of other folks wanting to read it, but I actually haven't heard anything about it, about what they've, from folks that have read it, about like how they feel about it. But I've been really curious about it, and mostly Jan from JanAgaton has been like piquing my interest on it, and that is The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. This is narrated by Nora Hunter. It's 14 hours long, but we are following Delaney Myers-Petrov is tired of being seen as fragile just because she's deaf. So when she's accepted into the prestigious program at Godbowl University to train students to slip between parallel worlds, she's excited for the chance to prove herself. But her semester gets off to a rocky start as she faces professors who won't accommodate her disability and a pretentious upperclassman fascinated by Delaney's unusual talents. Colton Price died when he was 9 years old. Quite impossibly, he woke several weeks later at the feet of a green-eyed little girl. Now, 12 years later, Delaney Myers-Petrov has stumbled back into his orbit, but Colton's been ordered to keep away from the new girl and the voices she hears calling to her from the shadows. So that's all I know, and that's all I really want to know. There is a lovely looking flower on the cover with some skulls in it, so I think it'll be really fun. So that's what I'm going to choose for Ladybug. Next is Sobble. Interesting. Another water type Pokemon, and for that I'm just going to go ahead and choose this one of How the Oceans Came to Be, written by Arvis Bobin and illustrated by Alfreda Bertrac-Allegio. Yeah, I believe it's the children's book of how oceans came to be, so I figure this is pretty relevant. I love this cover, and I think this will be good. Okay, so aside from the trainer card, this is my last one. And that is Larvesta, which is a fire Pokemon, which is to read something that a bunch of people are talking about right now. Or like, people have been talking about. Okay, I don't know if a bunch of people have been talking about it, but I feel like I've been seeing it around on BookTube a lot, and that is The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. Particularly Jan from JanAgaton has talked about this one, but I also know that Kayla from BooksandLala has also talked about it. It wasn't her cup of tea. I feel like a bunch of others have talked about it too, so I figure this is a good one for right now. I don't really know what it's about. I think I ordered it because of Jan and just haven't read it yet. Clara Densmore is an Everwitch. For centuries, witches have maintained the climate, their power peaking in the season of their birth, but their control is faltering as the atmosphere becomes more erratic. All hope lies with Clara, whose rare magic is tied to every season. In autumn, Clara wants nothing to do with her power. It's wild, it's volatile, and the price of her magic, losing the ones she loves, is too high, despite the need to control the increasingly dangerous weather. In winter, the world is on the precipice of disaster. Fires burn, storms rage, and Clara finally accepts that she's the only one who can make a difference. In spring, she falls for Sang, the witch training her. As her magic grows, so do her feelings for him, until she's terrified Sang will be the next one she loses. In summer, Clara must choose between her power and her happiness, her duty and the people she loves, before she loses everything. Yeah, so that's the synopsis for that one. That sounds really intense. Alright, and then I still have one for Mood Read, and I think for that, as much as I already have like a ton of physical books, I'm going to add one more, and that is Her Majesty's Royal Coven by JanAgaton. Hidden among us is a secret coven of witches, known as Her Majesty's Royal Coven. They protect crown and country from magical forces and otherworldly evil, but their greatest enemy will come from within. There are whisperings of a prophecy that will bring the coven to its knees, and 4 best friends are about to be caught at the center. Will Helena, Naomi, Leonie, and Elle be able to stop the prophecy before it's too late, or will the differences that have seen them grow apart since childhood be too great to overcome? So yeah, that is. Let's see if I can lift this. If not, I apologize. There we go. So that is my June TBR. Fairly witch heavy, which I'm not minding. But I think it's also a good mix of other things too, just in case my moodiness for reading continues throughout June as well. If you read any of these, please let me know your thoughts down in the description down below. I would love to hear them. Please no spoilers. Otherwise, let me know which ones that you think I should prioritize. I'd be really interested in hearing that. Otherwise, if you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around and for bearing with me. Let's go ahead and put, what kind of emoji should we put? Because of all the witchy stuff, let's go ahead and put a broom emoji. That'll be fun. And then, yeah, otherwise, be sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't yet to do so, and I will see you in another video very soon. Cheers.